it's an enormous responsibility to be a coach. What a coach means to me is somebody that has, significant opportunity to influence young people, not only in the sport that they're playing, but for the rest of their life, right? You certainly can impact them on the field or the court or whatever it might, or in the pool or whatever it might be, and for them to excel and be the best they can at their given sport. But it's the day-to-day learns that you have an opportunity to teach as a coach for them to learn to be ultimately successful in life. And I think that's one of the great things that sports teaches us and tells us is there's so many mirrors of the sport and what you have to do to be a successful in life and be a successful citizen. Coaching baseball has absolutely made me a better parent. It's taught me patience. Mm-hmm. It's taught me kind of, I have 35 young men in our locker room every day. It keeps me young, candidly. You learn about all the new things that are going on out there. I know nothing about social media, but I'd learn it from my players and coaches. So, it teaches you, being around 35 young men that are college students, it teaches you communication. You better be good at it. Mm-hmm. It teaches you understanding, right? You learn what it takes for them to be successful in every facet of their life. And, it gives me an opportunity then to go back home and sit around the dinner table and share that with my own children, right? There's disappointments. There's things that 18 to 22-year-olds do that maybe they don't always make the best decisions. And those decisions create learning opportunities. And then it gives me an opportunity to talk about those type of things with my own children at home, and it helps their growth and their development as well. The three things that I am most proud of in my time at the University of Virginia is, first and foremost, I'm proud of the success we've had. I tell our players all the time that winning's important. They're going to try to win for the rest of their life in whatever it is that they try to do. And part of our responsibility is for them to grow and learn and teach them how to win. And so I'm proud of a national championship in 2015. I'm proud that we've taken 5 teams to Omaha in the College World Series. Secondly, I'm proud of the young men that have developed in our program. Some of them have went on to realize their dreams and play at the highest level of baseball. This last Major League Baseball season, there were 15 former Cavaliers that played in the major leagues. I'm proud of that. Mm-hmm. They come to us with that dream and aspirations of playing at the highest level. I'm equally as proud of, the players that play in our program and go out and be successful contributing members to society that don't go play baseball. Mm-hmm. That maybe are a teacher or a coach. The third thing that I am proud of is I am proud to tell you that every player that has played in the last 18 years at the University of Virginia that has been there 4 years has graduated from UVA and has graduated in 4 years. And at the end of the day, my responsibility, yes, do we want to win games? Do we want to develop young men? But it's for them to earn this degree that will impact the next 40 years of their life. And so those are the things that I'm proud of. There were a lot of common things that happened between the 2015 team and our 2021 College World Series team. Just a little bit different ways, but there were certainly some huge similarities. Both teams had very, very high expectations on them coming into the year. Both teams went through kind of similar journeys. In 2015, we were predicted to be one of the teams to go to Omaha, and we ran into an incredible rash of injuries throughout the first half of the year. And there were times, Greg, that we didn't know whether we were going to be able to put 9 guys out there from a position player standpoint. We had so many injuries. At one point that year, we actually went to the UVA club team and had tryouts and grabbed 2 of their players to join our team that year, and they ended up being on our national championship team. That's how much of a struggle it was. And what ended up happening is we hung in there through the whole year, got ourselves into the NCAA tournament and ultimately won the national championship. Last year, it was a very similar story. Not because of injuries, we were just underachieving. We were actually here in Atlanta at the turnaround point in our season in 2021. We were 4-12 and had lost game 1 against Georgia Tech here in Atlanta and completely flipped our season. Ended out winning the next 2 games, went to Clemson, won the series, won every series the rest of the regular season other than one, and got ourselves in the NCAA tournament and made a run to the College World Series. So both of them, what I would tell you is the journeys were so memorable. The struggles and what we can learn in the sport of baseball is amazing. And then it ultimately impacts and changes the fiber of who those kids are. And for that, I'm really, really proud. I'm very, very proud of the culture of success that we've built at UVA, and managing the expectations is important, right? And we don't apologize for it, right? We have huge expectations. I like to say that there are more standards in our program of how we want to go about things to give ourselves a chance to be successful, to meet those expectations. Mm-hmm. So it depends from one year to the next, Greg, each team on how we handle that, right? Some years, I've had to just attack it and say, hey, listen, they're predicting us to win the national championship. Bring it on. That's what we want, right? Some years the expectations, maybe because of what we're returning, aren't maybe the same from a national perspective, okay? And so we handled them a certain way. That said, the standards and the expectations that we are going to have of each other within our program on how we work and how we go about our business every day are never going to change from one year to the next. To be successful as a college baseball coach, you can't worry about what those people in the stands are going to say, because they're going to say it regardless. And that actually motivates me. It's part of the reason I love to coach, because I love making difficult decisions. And I just don't think you can be successful in this arena if you don't enjoy that. And so maybe there's a little bit of the ego there that comes out that wants to do that, right? But you have to look forward to that, in my opinion. And then, the decisions come from what you believe based on past experiences on, at that moment, what can give your team the best chance to win at that moment. But also, too, you have to look at, where do we want to be a month, 2 months from now? Where do we want to be in June? And sometimes you make decisions, short-term decisions, that are maybe not the best at that given time, but are going to put you in a better situation 3 months from now. There is a ton of information out there in the game right now, from an analytical standpoint, from a defensive standpoint. It's impacting every phase of the game, right? And you need to be aware of it. You need to be intelligent about all of it. You need to understand it, because the young people that are coming to play for you pay attention to it and understand it. So it's important, right? You're always sharpening your saw and trying to find a way to improve and create an advantage. That said, I think college baseball is a little bit different than professional baseball in this, right? We play 56 games. They play 3 times that, mm-hmm. right? And so they might be making decisions about who to bring out of the bullpen or bring off the bench to pinch hit, because they have more information, more data collected over longer periods of time that can help decisions be made. That said, we still use it a lot, right? In development, from a pitching standpoint or a hitting standpoint. But where you see it a lot impacting college baseball is where we're playing defenders, right? The shifts and things like that you see at the major league level is absolutely happening at the college level. In some cases, it actually started at the college level before it even did professional baseball. And so you're using data analytics based on what is happening to make those decisions, all for giving your team the best chance to win. As a manager, as a coach, somebody that's in the game, collecting all that information and all that data and figuring out, okay, how does it help us win? Simplicity is the key, right? Because I think when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-old young men, even though they're highly intelligent and they've been around this information, you don't want them to be clouded by it. You want them, when they step in between the white lines, that they just go out and compete and be athletic, right? And so you take the information, teach, use it to try to win the game a little bit, but when it comes to just playing the game, you got to let them play the game and you got to stay out of their way. There's great lessons from Griff McGarry's journey in the 2021 season for anybody to learn from. So, Griff, right-handed pitcher, senior for us this last year, has some of the best ability in college baseball. Right, had a great fall for us a year ago. The beginning of the season started off really good for him. Hit a stretch in the middle of the season where it wasn't going his way. He wasn't executing. He wasn't pitching up to his capability. We were put in a position as leaders of the program that we needed to take him out of the starting rotation and stop pitching him. But that's what we needed to do to right the ship and win games and have a chance at the end of the year. What Griff McGarry did was what was important. He didn't quit on himself. He didn't throw his hands up and say, it's not my year, I can't do this, it's not working out for him. What Griff decided to do is he decided to continue to work, believe in himself, get his work in the side, throw in inter-squad scrimmages, not in games, inter-squad scrimmages every week in the middle of the week, kept building his confidence, honed his skills, right? And I'll never forget our pitching coach, Drew Dickinson, coming to me every week saying, Coach, we need to pitch this guy. And I would say, can't do it. We have too much at risk right now. And he kept telling me, Coach, we are going to need Griff McGarry at the most important time. Trust me. Didn't do it. Weeks went on, decided to give him a chance. Went out one inning, had a great inning. A week later, gave him another chance, threw an inning, had a great inning. You could start to see that the old Griff McGarry was back, right? And all the players made an impact, but him stepping forward in the NCAA tournament, he had probably the biggest part in getting us to Omaha, Nebraska, because he pitched his best baseball at the most important time, but the lesson in the journey is the young man never quit on himself. Right? He kept fighting. And Griff McGarry, I don't know if he'll ever pitch in the big leagues or not. I think he will. I believe he will. But if he doesn't, he's going to have that experience that he had last year with him for the rest of his life.